My name is Andrew Mackay, and I'm going to moderate this masterclass today. For the last few days, we've actually been running a composers lab at Yashraj Studios. I believe it's probably the first one that's ever been done in India for film scoring.
One of the things that I love about being a film composer is that you always have to do different things, and so you're presented with a film, and it might be set in a certain period of time or in a certain location, and you have to find out about music that's appropriate to that. So I once did a film about the Romans invading Scotland.
How was that to go from short films into a feature film? How did that process happen? Because a lot of the time, when you're a composer, you do music for short films, hoping that director will do a feature and drag you along.
Well, I think that's definitely a route, and some of the short films I did paid off, and I met people later on. I did a film called Hannibal Rising, one of the Hannibal Lecter movies, and the editor on that film had been an editor on a short film I'd done several years earlier. And that was very helpful. So there are those connections do follow through. He said Dino De Laurentiis, who was the famous Italian producer, who sadly is no longer with us, but he kind of ran the show on that movie, and I remember he was talking to Ume one day, and he was saying, they were talking about using these colo drums and stuff, and he was saying you should do this and you should do that, and he was getting very specific, and Ume said this brilliant thing to him. He said, Dino, I don't tell you how to make pasta, you don't tell me how to make sushi.
Well, we kind of working towards making directors more music friendly, and to push the envelope beyond personal likes and dislikes, and be able to understand what the big menu of musical styles, traditions are. That said, I think it's really important to teach directors to watch films with their ears.
Actually, my first time as an engineer was actually with John Williams. So it was quite scary. I was like fourth down the row. I think someone couldn't make it, someone was ill, and then I was on. And so, and it was actually the new music for the Return of the Jedi special edition. So, and I remember John just sort of saying, "How was that take, Jonathan?" And I turned around looking for Jonathan. I thought, oh, all right, got it. And then you've got to grow up a bit. So that was a really good experience.
Mastering is the stage after, say, Jonathan's mixed something. Mastering is the final stage before the music's put out into the world, really. It's the last chance to change things in terms of the sonic quality, so the EQ, and the dynamics. And I guess what you're trying to do with mastering is you're trying to bring continuity to the record. You're hoping that when someone hits play at the start of an album or at the start of the soundtrack, they're not getting up, turning the volume up and down. You bring continuity to the different pieces and the different parts of the music. It's a stage that it takes about a day. The producer turns up with the files, or possibly the A&R or the artist, or sometimes all of them. You can have a pack through. And the audio is a pre-master, what they supply us with. Shouldn't be limited, although sometimes it is. So it's got lots of dynamics. It's the chance really to change things for the last time. I guess the main difference being is for Jonathan, when he's mixing, everyone's probably seen a mixing desk, lots of channels on a mixing desk, and you've got everything isolated. So kick drums, or possibly you group things, but you may have voice, and everything's on an individual channel, and therefore you're able to alter things individually for the request of the client, or for bringing the mix together. With mastering, you're just dealing with one file, so the left and the right side.
Music is a content, basically, and there are different businesses who would use this content to develop their business, to earn money out of it. For example, if there is a radio station, they would play music, and because of that music that has been played, people would kind of go back and listen to the radio. And between the music that they play, they would put advertisements, and that's how the business would they would do the business, they would run the business. It's a kind of a very simple, basic, straightforward model that I'm talking about. Now, anybody who is using music as a part of their business, which is an integral part of the music business, they should really, give something back, to the content providers.
I think there are two things, two sides to it. One is the authors themselves, the lyricists, composers who woke up and felt that why should we not be treated the same way that author composers are treated in the rest of the world. And the other side is the business side, is that some companies, big companies, suddenly realize that there is a revenue stream in publishing which they were not exploiting because they were looking at the bundle of rights. And that when you separate these, when you unbundle these rights and exploit the rights separately, there is more money to be made. And they try to do it by themselves.